Alice's voice was tight with fury. "Don't talk to me about them. I've got more to settle. Those wretched demons. I'm never going back, Charles. For over a decade I suffered, all to protect those people. And in the end they were the ones who wanted me dead." Right then, the Cardinal Archbishop slowly drew his cruciform sword. "Alice," he called, his voice cold. "Look closely. Do you recognize this? Have you truly forgotten the duty the Church placed upon you?" The moment Alice saw the sword, her anger seemed to blaze even hotter. "Why don't you take a look at mine instead?" As she spoke, she drew the blade of ominous misfortune. A wave of dark, violent energy shot up from it, so powerful the sky itself seemed to dim. A huge, swirling vortex opened above them, wildly devouring the flames that wreathed Alice, pulling the raging energy from the ground all the way into the clouds. Watching this, the Cardinal Archbishop's face went stiff. His eyes were fixed on that terrible sword. He could sense a threat he really didn't want to face. At that moment, a low-level goblin at the front of the monster ranks piped up, its voice carrying Lin Tane's command. "That's enough. Are you trying to block the Master's will, you shameful parasites clinging to Alice?" The creature's tone was downright rude. Charles II's face twisted with rage. "Lin Tane," he roared, flecks of spit flying. "I truly did underestimate you. You vile creature, how dare you make so many of these monsters in such a short time? What in the world have you done to Alice?" Even the Cardinal Archbishop had reached his limit with the insult. He pointed his sword straight at Lin Tane. "You beast! Do not slander us. If anyone here is a bloodthirsty warmonger, it is you. There is nothing left to say. Let this war begin." Hearing that, Lin Tane just smiled a little, looking almost innocent. "Wait, I know you're excited, but let's not rush. I'm not like you. I don't enjoy all the blood and violence. I'll give you one chance to surrender." The Cardinal Archbishop's face twitched, his mouth working. "You shameless monster! Stop your lies. Our knights are justice incarnate. We represent the Lord's will. The only violent, bloodthirsty ones here are you monsters." Charles II threw up a hand, cutting him off. "Your Eminence, talking is useless. Warriors of justice," he bellowed, "wipe out these monsters. Take back our saint." A unified roar erupted from the army. King Charles II personally led the cavalry charge, thundering toward the monster lines. The great battle had officially begun. Lin Tane instantly ordered the larger monsters forward. "Don't let them form up," he commanded. "If they get their defensive line, they'll overpower us in close combat." The monsters surged ahead without hesitation, their eyes glowing a fierce red, completely unafraid as they slammed into the wall of armored knights. "Good heavens!" gasped one of the knights, his voice trembling. "What are these things?" As wave after wave of gigantic beasts bore down on them, a cold, gripping fear took hold, the kind that sinks right into your bones. Yet the soldiers did not fall back. They ducked behind their shields, teeth gritted, holding the line with everything they had. But even their best effort couldn't withstand the impact of monsters standing 4 or 5 meters tall. The Empire's front line shattered in an instant. Hidden within the chaos, Lin Tane saw it, the perfect moment to strike at the heart of their forces. On his command, wave after wave of goblins surged into the broken Imperial formation, forcing a brutal, close-quarters brawl. Even with their overwhelming numbers and crude iron armor, they were still outmatched by the Empire's fully armored soldiers. The fight quickly bogged down into a messy, grinding stalemate. Seeing this, King Charles II barked new orders. "Lancers! Saber cavalry! Target the large monsters first! Shield infantry, reform the line, now!" At once, the sharp neighs of warhorses cut through the din from both flanks of the battlefield. Groups of cavalry surged toward the center, the thunder of hooves shaking the ground and bearing down with crushing force. To the infantry, cavalry was the very image of death itself. Where they charged, goblins were trampled into the mud, offering no chance to fight back. Several saber-wielding cavalrymen swung their weapons in unison, carving into a giant, tusked boar. Under a relentless barrage of strikes, the level 5 monster was quickly brought down. Once one target was dealt with, the cavalry immediately wheeled toward the next. A smug smile spread across Charles II's face. "Let me show you the iron might of the Empire," he roared. "Crush every last one of them. Smash their skulls." Lin Tane watched the scene calmly, though his expression grew serious. He realized this was the exact reason he had failed in his earlier simulations. The cavalry was simply too powerful. "In the future I'll need forces like this," he noted. But this time, he wasn't worried. Suddenly, jet-black tentacles erupted across the battlefield, snatching warhorses and riders right out of the air. They were hurled straight into a massive, gaping maw that waited behind the lines. The sickening sound of flesh and bone being ground apart echoed without end. Sparks flew as the black mountain goat eggs entered the fray. To the cavalry, and to the entire Imperial army, they were a waking nightmare. From the body of each creature grew more than 10 pitch-black tentacles. Countless soldiers were seized, lifted into the air, and forced to watch at close range as that enormous mouth pulped flesh and blood. Many were so terrified they nearly lost control on the spot. The air filled with the screams of utterly despairing men. Right at that moment, blades of brilliant sword light tore through the air. In an instant, several massive holes were ripped open in the bodies of the Black Mountain goat eggs. The Cardinal Archbishop had appeared, rescuing the captured soldiers. His voice was ice-cold. "Leave these two abominations to me. You deal with the goblins." Immediately, he shot up into the air, gripping his cruciform sword, and unleashed a relentless flurry of slashes. Streams of sword light poured down continuously, streaking toward the enormous goat eggs. The massive creatures had no hope of dodging. If nothing changed, it was only a matter of time before the Cardinal Archbishop cut them down. But fortunately, just as his assault closed in, Alice appeared in front of the Black Mountain goat eggs. She raised her demonic sword high and unleashed a single, overwhelming slash. The strike completely obliterated the Cardinal Archbishop's entire offensive. Alice's expression was terrifyingly cold. Hellfire enveloped her entire body. And there, amid the chaotic sea of slaughter, she began to advance, step by deliberate step, toward the Cardinal Archbishop. This guy is Su Hong. One random day, purely by accident, he ended up catching the attention of a god and was unexpectedly blessed with a strange system. Through it, he could learn martial skills, track his progress, and slowly grow stronger. Now the scene has shifted to the present where